And, would you believe we're already halfway through this mission? Talk to Bellin. Or report to Bellin. Welcome to Drozana Station, the home of the finest libations and pleasures this side of Reeks. Care to hear about today's specials? Your replicators are working. They are, and I am exceedingly pleased by your generous offer to repair them for no compensation. I can't let you go away empty-handed, though. How about I give you a 15% discount on drinks and souvenirs for an amount of time to be determined by management? We had a deal. The replicators for information about Zamara. Fine. A deal's a deal, right? Never let it be said I'll cheat a valued customer like yourself. Personally, I don't know why you're so interested in her. She's a looker, but just try talking to her. She's more paranoid than an Obsidian Order agent in a room full of Tal Shiar. Zamara usually hangs out near the Dabo tables. Keep an eye out for a looker wearing purple. You can't miss her. Alright. Hello. Be careful, they're watching.
Dabo makes the universe go round.
Creepy. Woglinde is creepy. They who? Shh, keep your voice down. I'm being watched. I've seen too many familiar faces in the crowd, and there are shadows, watchers in the dark. I can see them out the corner of my eye when they think I'm not looking, but I'm always looking. When the lights change, there they are. I was sent to help you. You weren't sent to help me, you were sent to watch me. Drake needs me to keep feeding information to Starfleet intelligence. The Klingons come here, and they drink and they talk. It's amazing the bits of information...
Make the universe go round.
It's amazing the bits of information you can pick up around a Dabo table. Everything, even the smallest detail, is important. Captain Gerard was in here last week. He ordered blood wine, an entire bottle of the 2309 vintage, to be exact. That business with the House of Torg must have upset him more than we knew. When Gerard's happy, he drinks Warnog. Hello! Tell me more about what happened with the House of Torg. Torg was
Watch the wheel, not the girl.
Torg was on the High Council until he made a play to destroy the House of Martok. He was partially successful. Miven, son of Drex, is dead. The house has no heir unless Drex takes a new mate and fathers a new son. But Martok's widow is wise. Her son Drex was off fighting the war, so Lady Cirilla called in KDF officers to defend her house. They exposed Torg's treachery, and Jimpok was forced to discommendate him. As to why that would make Gerard unhappy?
Woglinde is a licensed product of Quark Enterprises.
As to why that would make Gerard unhappy, Torg raised Gerard after his mother died. Now he is an outcast and his house has fallen. Gerard cannot speak to him without losing his own honor. What can I do to help you? Find out who is watching me. I'm not safe here. The Klingons are looking for me. They know someone has been feeding intelligence to Starfleet. The ghosts are always watching. Their eyes are hungry. Yesterday they surrounded a drunken Klingon. Now he's dead. They will find me when the blue light shines, and then I'll disappear.
The house always wins.
I know what the ghosts are. How could you know that? You may think you know. You may even have readings in your tricorder that you think are right. But you don't know. How could you know? I'm here every day.
Dabo!
They watch me, and I watch them. I can take you someplace safe. No, they're everywhere. They're watching. You've been here too long. Someone will notice that we're together. Go do something else. Play Dabo. I'll contact you when I'm ready. When it's safe.
This could be your day. Spin the wheel and win.
Play Dabo. And this is basically like how do you play Dabo. And tells you about Woglinde. All you have to do is place one bet.
Platinum is a girl's best friend. Davo!
Was that a... Close enough. I couldn't wait for you to get that lucky. We would have been here all night. Zamara wants me to give you a message. She wants you to know if you're interested in finding out what's really going on here in Drozana Station, you need to check out the lower levels. I have an access code for you that will get you past the security doors. If you want to talk to her again, I suggest you collect your winnings and catch her before she leaves. Be careful, they're watching. Are you ready to talk now? You don't need to worry about me. I'm going to leave this place to the ghosts. They seem to belong here more than we do. I've booked passage on a ship. You don't need to know which one. Just tell Drake that he'll keep getting his intel, one way or another. Good luck.
Watch the wheel, not the girl.
Good luck. You're going to need it. Captain, there were Devidians in the Donadu system. Now you've found evidence of them again on Drozana Station. Obviously, they're using the neutral zone as some sort of feeding ground, and that puts dozens of worlds at risk. I've requested sensor data from the ships closest to the comet's current location for analysis. That is only half of our problem. If properties of the comet are somehow easing the Devidians' entry into this area of space,
round it goes.
How do we stop them? Recommendations? The closest research facility is on Deep Space K7. I recommend that we consult with the team there. Alright. Let's get back in the uniform and get out of here. Okay, now we have to go to a main player hub. I don't like running fraps and hubs. I believe I said so in the 25th Century, the very first episode of Rise of the Red Shirt. I don't like running fraps and hubs because there's already plenty of hub lag in this game, and it's only going to get worse when free-to-play hits. Oh, I dread free-to-play because of that. Okay, let's go ahead and slipstream over to Deep Space K7. I don't know how they got a Galaxy-class slipstream, considering that Starfleet design in general is incompatible with quantum slipstream, and a much sleeker ship damn near shook itself apart trying. But, there you go. Orbit Deep Space K7. As a Galaxy retrofit, U.S.S. Rainbow Bright, Venwar, dock at K7. So I'm not sure. Do we need to go? Wait, perhaps we do need to go into sickbay for this one. I know there's a mission that simply requires you to just use one of K7's computers. This might be it, or it might be the next one. Nope, this one requires you to actually go into K7's sickbay. So the next one is the one that requires you to just randomly use whatever computer on K7 you want. Or it's a lab, actually. So it's not actually a proper sickbay. It's just your standard laboratory. And she is a jerk, Nurse Lapa. But she's a Tellarite, and that's kind of the Tellarite's hat, is being irritable and generally hard to be around. Excuse me. Consult Lieutenant Calapo. How can I help you? Tell me about yourself. I grew up on trading ships, oh god, text, making supply runs in the Bolian sector. It was exciting, but it was crazy too. I never knew where I was going to be, or if my parents were going to have enough latinum to keep the ship flying. Then there was that time with the Orion pirates, and let's just say it wasn't the best environment for a child. All I've ever wanted was stability. I used to envy the kids on the colony worlds we served. For a while, I even thought about becoming a farmer. I wanted to wake up at the same time every day, go to the same job every day, even eat the same food most days. I like working on a starbase. It has a little bit of unpredictability, but every night my quarters are there waiting for me, and they're always in the same place. Do you know Franklin Drake? I have had dealings with him in the past. I think he's some sort of military strategist. He visits here from time to time, although Commander Wildman is never too thrilled to see him. He's always treated me well, though, so I don't have any reason to dislike him. What has Franklin Drake asked you to do? Mostly he wants updates on our research projects. Last week he was asking me all sorts of questions about the synchronic distortion prototype rifle. We work with the prototypes of new equipment here. I'll bang on something for months to find out all of its advantages and problems before it's sent to the field to be used by Starfleet. Even then, it takes years of more testing and iteration before something becomes standard fleet issue, and most equipment never makes it that far. There are hundreds of inventions that just don't work, or they don't work the way we want them to. There are hundreds of inventions that just don't work, or they don't work the way we want them to. Those failures are then broken down and their components are recycled. We have to keep everything secure. If the Romulans or the Klingons got their hands on what we're working on here, they could learn a lot about our technology. Tell me more about the synchronic distortion prototype rifle. That was a complete disaster. The basic design came out of Memory Alpha, and it was intended to detect and damage cloaked opponents. Someone there got an idea that the Romulans were developing personal cloaking devices, even though the power needs of something like that would be incredible. I recommended against sending it to field testing, but it went anyway. The crew on the U.S.S. DeWitt had some luck in modifying one for use as a hand weapon, but their prototype was destroyed when the ship was lost in the neutral zone. I hadn't thought about it again until Drake asked about it. There are Devidians in the neutral zone. So that explains why Drake was interested in the prototype. It was a complete failure at detecting polarization cloaks, but if I added a phase modulator and reversed the polarity... These modifications should be no problem, and when I'm done, this beam will pack quite a punch against those phase-shifted Devidians. I'll forward the weapon on to Drake as soon as I'm done. Be careful, the Devidians won't stop. I'm afraid we'll have to be ready to fight. Captain, we've done what we can for Zamara. We have the information we need about the Devidians, and Lieutenant Calapo is working on a weapon we can use to fight them. I suggest that we report back to Drake and see what he has to say. He's never very forthcoming with his information, but the more we know about him and his operations, the more we'll learn about Section 31. Are you ready to leave the system, sir? And you unlock Comet Cocktails as soon as you complete this mission, which allow you to make Triolic Tribbles, which buff you against damage from the Devidians. Leave the system. And Calapo used to have a blue uniform. He used to have a proper Science Division uniform. Now he's got a red uniform for some reason. Never knew why. But yeah, K7, the Drozana station, the original form of Drozana station was a lot like K7. So, from sector map, we contact Mr. Drake. Spin the wheel. Good work. Zamara may think she has slipped my noose, but I have ways of keeping tabs on her. I take special care to know all about people to whom I have an interest. But you already know about that, don't you? The ghosts that Zamara mentioned concern me, however. You already encountered Devidians once. It's likely that they are on Drozana Station as well, and I won't let them use Federation citizens as food. Lieutenant Calapo has completed work on the synchronic distortion prototype rifle. It should help you when you're ready to enter the lower levels of Drozana. Drake out. So, I can pick this one up, but I've already got it. So, I'm going to have to go with one of these. Hello! Or I'm going to go with the, let's see, Polaron Blast Assault. And that was Spin the Wheel. Not a very long mission at all. Most of it's dialogue. I was stretching it out. I didn't have to read all that dialogue from Calapo, but I felt like stretching it out a little bit because this is a very short mission. Not much happens in it except you get the distortion rifle and you find out that the Devidians are in Drozana Station. That's about it. Yeah. That's about all that happens in that mission. There's not much to say, really. I could have gone... I didn't quite feel like reading all of Woglinde stuff, because most of it is how to play Dabo, and the rest of it is, you know, where does Woglinde come from? And the basic gist of it is, Lida was a character from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, who married another character, a Ferengi character named Rom. And, he became the Grand Nagus, which is sort of the which is the leader of Ferengi civilization, basically. He's the Nagus is the boss of bosses when it comes to the Ferengi, and he made a hollow emitter version of Lida to serve as a Dabo girl, which was Lida's old job in Deep Space Nine. That's what the character did, was she was one of the Dabo girls. You know, think like just a scantily clad casino girl next to a roulette table. That's what a Dabo girl is, basically. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, Lida didn't have a terrible amount of development in DS9. Nowhere near as much as Rom did. Rom developed, like, from his first introduction to when he left the series, Rom had a lot of character development in that show. I don't know if he's actually still Nagus in the time that Stowe takes place. I don't know where he is. I don't know where Quark is, either, to be honest. There was an alternate future episode of DS9 where Quark had retired and the bar was run by Morn. One of the bar, like this silent bar patron who's always seated at the counter. So I don't know where Rom or Quark are. But yeah, that's all Woglinde is. And she's also, basically, she's wherever there's a Dabo table, basically. There's a Woglinde on Deep Space Nine as well in Quark's, which at least fits. But that's it. Again, what can you say? That's all there is to this mission. It's all of the featured episodes, like the Breen episodes, had Cold Comfort, which was entirely dialogue puzzles. And not much happened in it at all. And this is more of the same of that. There isn't one like this in Cloaked Intentions as far as I can tell. All of them tend to have a mix of puzzle solving and exploration and combat. Which is probably why Cloaked Intentions so far is the best of the featured episode series. There's never a big gap in what you're told to do. There's always something going on, and you're never really sifting through dialogue puzzles trying to continue, except for the very beginning of Colosseum. I don't like the beginning of Colosseum. I don't like having to bust out a pen and paper, like in the days of yore, like when I was playing Resident Evil and Parasite Eve and such. I don't like having to write shit down when I'm playing a game. Unless, you know, in the case of, like, old role-playing games, fucking NX, named the U.S.S. Archer, damn it, punch it, yeah. Unless, you know, in the days of your, like, old-school pen-and-paper RPGs, fine. But you know, when it's like an when it's like a console or a PC game, I don't like having to write shit down, especially in this day and age, when all of our attention spans have been halved. But yeah, the rest of Colosseum is fantastic. The rest of Colosseum is actually one of my favorite missions of the game. It's really, really fun, especially once you have the melee kit equipped. Especially now that they fixed the fucking a hollow worm bug. They've toned down its attack and so that it doesn't like kill you during the cutscenes. Oh. What would happen is you'd have to like trigger these like turrets to shoot at this giant worm thing that would leap up from the ground, and you'd have to do this X amount of times. But every time you do it, it started playing a cutscene of the turret shooting at the worm. The problem with this was the worm, that while you were stopped by the cutscene, you couldn't move at all. The worm had no such restriction. It would still be in combat mode, it would still be fighting you, and it would still be shooting stuff at you, and you weren't invincible during this cutscene. You were taking damage the whole time, and there was nothing you could do about it. So the moment the cutscene ended, you either had very little health left, or you were dead. I hated that, but they have, it was in the patch notes long ago that they'd fixed that. We'll see when we get to Cloaked Intentions. But yeah, again, that's it. That's all there is for this mission. Yeah, I got nothing else right now. So next time we'll be doing What Lies Beneath, which is a much better, much longer mission than this. It was supposed to be. They were going for scary, and to an extent they achieved that. Although it's kind of a. The flashlight you get only really works on this map, and it doesn't even work all that well. It doesn't really light up surfaces reliably, so you're gonna see me running around in the dark a lot. But as I said last time, we'll get to the problems that What Lies Beneath has when we get to What Lies Beneath. Until then, this has been Spin the Wheel. This has been Star Trek Online: Rise of the Red Shirt, and I will see you guys later. So later.